Oh, look at that. She's a pearler of a morning. Beautiful. Finally feels like spring is here. The rain's stopped and now we're getting nice days like this. A little bit chilly, but not too bad. At least when you get sun, it makes it so much better. But good morning everyone and welcome back. Cow at the end of this row, I need to draft her out. She's actually on heat. You can go in there with your mate. The other one's the cow that I've got to milk last because it's got that contagious mastitis-y stuff. But I am 10 days away from start of mating, so today's the first we start on about the 10th. However, I'm going to chuck her out here today because I'm going to chuck a straw in her. I have a little bit of 6 semen. I bought 8 straws because it was from a bull that I could only get 6 semen with. This is what it looks like on the collars, so she's not ready for it just now. The timing's not right. You can see that little arrow needs to come across to where the thick line is. So I'm going to bring her in about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon and I'll get Dad to whack a straw in her. Come on. It actually says that the ideal time slot for the 6 semen starts at 1 o'clock. So yeah, we'll get her in just before lunch. That does mean she will calve, if she gets in calf, 10 days earlier than the rest. But I'm sort of willing to take that risk with 6 semen. I haven't had the best results from it in the past. So what I'm going to do is, I've got 8 straws, and if I put it in now, and she doesn't hold, but I'm giving her the best opportunity, like time-wise, then she'll still come on in the first 3 weeks again, and I've got another chance of getting another good replacement calf from her. So I'm really only doing it to the best cows, because that's where we're going to get our best advantage from it. Hopefully that makes sense. I was thinking too, I might even do her closer to 3, because then I can let her go and she'll just come straight back to the feed pad instead of just before lunch. I've still got calves in the shed, which seems a little bit funny. But the kids' calf club cubs are here. There's Marshmallow and Sparkly Unicorns, the second in from that end. And it's just easy to catch them when they're in pen here rather than out in the paddock. They were just a little bit difficult. And they're actually doing really well, these calves. I think they're probably the best ones I've got. They're growing nice and big, so yeah, just milk and meal seem to be doing real well. Hop. I'll show you something quite hard case. I was coming over to feed these calves. I had my rifle in the gator, just there's a few hairs and things around at the moment. So it's only a 0.17, so it's smaller than a 22. And I seen a pigeon sitting on one of these troughs, and I got quite close to it. I got within probably about 10-15 meters. And I scored a bit of a direct hit. It just absolutely blew a hole in it. You can literally see daylight through it. This is it here, you can still see a few feathers on top of the water there. Doug's back this morning too, new strainer, fencing all this paddock which we cut a new drain through. But he said last night, why don't we move the fence that's through here, why don't we straighten it up. So we're gonna, well the strainer was over there with the gate, I'm gonna pull it back, so there's gonna be a new strainer in there with the gate here, so it should be a lot better. That looks a lot better than it was. There was a little bit of a lip in here, so the water used to sit. And Doug said, oh, well, there's no post, just go and blow it off, and then at least the water can get off the race into the paddock. Doug's heading home. He's got an appointment for a couple of hours, but that was the last strainer for this line. Everything, well, all the strainers are in now, so just need to run a wire through down the end there, down to that corner, back to the crossing, and then come back like that. Then just chuck some quarter rounds in, and this section's pretty much done. It doesn't take long. He came yesterday at about 1 o'clock, went and got the post from town, so he said he'd turn up and do it. And because I got a bundle of 150 posts, or Dad did actually, I might redo this fence here, maybe put like a 3-wire along it too, just tidy it up. Like, it's probably fine how it is electric, but if I put a 3-wire, no calves can get through it. And then this whole paddock's pretty much done. Like, all the fencing in this paddock is done. Don't need to touch it in my lifetime, so it would be kind of good just to tidy it up. Wouldn't take long, I don't think. I shot home, had a little bit of breakfast. I think Doug's just got back, but I'm going to go fill up the mix wagon. Dad's down here, so might as well. I ordered a tank load of molasses, which is in here. That's a 5-ton tank. I think that's the least they deliver. It was a big truck and trailer that came in. And as you can see, it goes pretty slowly. Takes a while to fill. There are scales on the mixer wagon, so I'm trying to put in about 100 litres, which means this will last me about 50 days. And going into mating, it's all got to help. They're getting about half a litre a day, the cows at the moment. That's what I'm trying to give them. I didn't use any of this last year, but because the weather's been a little bit average, I thought I will try and give them a little bit more energy, or put a bit more energy into their feed. It's got to be good for them going into mating, surely. I reckon that's probably not too far off. I might have put a bit much. Is that zeroed? 160, so I've definitely put too much. It's a little bit more than I thought, but at least I know roughly how much to put in now. I've still got quite a bit of maize silage over here too, so I've still got from this post here to the back wall. I think that'll get me about a week to maybe 10 days. I wasn't quite sure if I'd get through to October, and I have done, so yeah, there's still quite a bit there, which means I've got a heck of a lot left in the pit back at the sheds there, which is good. It's good, especially if it goes dry. It just means I've got more feed on hand, and I'm not too worried when I plant my maize this year. I can put it in a little bit later, because I need to use all that before I bring the next stuff in. Come and give Doug a bit of a hand, see where I can help out the most. Probably driving the tractor. But I was thinking, after I said that, I'm going to put 10 hectares of maize in, but I think about 1.5 hectares of it was going to be the short variety. So it'll be ready a little bit sooner if we got into a bit of a pinch, say drought wise. But since I've got heaps in the pit there, maybe I can see if I can change it just to all the same. It's got me thinking. I cut this insulator off down, I think it was actually down here. But see, this one, it's an old clay one. I'm not sure, Doug might be able to tell me. Were those clay insulators, were they the ones that used to go on the power poles, or were they for fencing? Porcelain. Porcelain. Yeah. Were they for standard fences, or were these more like the power pole ones? Power pole. Oh yeah. It's a measuring stick.
Measuring stick. Always have it with me.
You better make it tidy, Doug. You're on camera now.
No. Perfect one.
I think that's where it used to open to, and now Doug's put a new post over there. Open the gateway up a little bit, and these were more over here, so you couldn't fold this gate back like it is now if you want to open it right up, but then it will also open across here, and because they're out far enough, oh yeah, they'll open to that gate there too. starting to take shape. It's looking good. We've driven all the posts and Doug's just going to whack a few insulators on, and that is pretty much going to tidy it up really. I think I'm going to get this girl and we're going to go for it now. It's interesting, I read somewhere the other day, I think it was an LIC thing saying that last year's six semen was like 2% different than conventional, also 2% worse. And you think that's pretty good, but I don't really buy into it as much, just my personal opinion, because I think that there's a lot of people out there using cow wearables now and the technology to get that better conception rate. So like they say with six semen, you want to use it on cows that have had a previous cycle, you want to use it on cows later into their AI window to get the best results. So I think a lot more people are doing that with the six semen, and that's where you get the less of a difference. But then again, you are making sure all the factors are right when you're using that compared to conventional where you just put it up and most of them get in calf. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Rightio, I don't need, oh, does that matter? Yes. Right, there we go. The bull that I am using is Sherlock, and I'm guessing it's that one because it's got F, which means female, 8 straws. Yeah, I did order less, 8. Clear, thing 6. Don't actually know what we've got gear wise, but there's heaps of these sheaths. That's good. I think I need to order some wipes. That's what I need. That and a pistolet. One of these. So 6 clear means it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in the last one.
I think that thing sits in there probably now, doesn't it?
Hopefully. I did ask them to clean it. One with Sherlock, female 6th. That's not clear, that's red, look. Oh, the tube's clear. Doesn't take long to thaw out, that should be good. Everyone does it differently, but it seems to work for me. Rightio, good to go. Just need the tech. Oh no, there he is.
Maybe you could do this one.
You're right. I should probably do a DIY course at some point. It'd be quite handy, but Dad's experience. So I have tried the six semen in the past. I think it was 2 years ago I used frozen stuff. And I did the same thing as this. I did it before we'd started so that if they didn't hold, we'd get them. And I think I had like a 30% hit rate with that, which is, yeah, pretty bad. And then the year before that I used fresh. So that's delivered every 3 days. Oh no, it's delivered daily. And we had a better result with that, but it wasn't quite as good as conventional. And I think LIC's fresh stuff actually sold out this year. I did look at it, but yeah, no.
Can you tip some of this stuff on my hand, please? Cool. Thank you. So what's so special about this cow?
What's our best 3-year-old cow?
It's going to calve 10 days early.
Well, that's if you get it in calf. I'd rather take the risk of it having a heifer calf and calving early than having a bull calf and calving
Right, we'll see what happens then.
3 weeks later. Or putting 6 to it in another 3 weeks and having it not hold then, and then we can't get it in calf to AI because it would be too late. That's just what I'm thinking. So now that I've given her that straw, I'll write it down in the book, but I'll put it for the 10th.
Back to your place or just in tonight's paddock?
No, it can go back to the feed pad. So I'll write her down in the book for the 10th. The reason being is that if it doesn't hold, she'll come back with a short return, which I don't really care about. But if I put the 10th and then I enter that in, then like in the focus fertility report, it starts from the 1st and it sways all your figures. So yeah, it's just easy to do it this way. Here's her mum here, number 20. Hey girl. If she comes on, and she is actually supposed to come on in about 2 days time, I think it is. I'll do her as well. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. Look at that. Lovely new fence. I have borrowed a leveling bar in the past and it was from Doug. I have to borrow it again. It'd be quite good to go around and knock all these clumps out of the way, plus all these piles when I do clear them, go and put them in the holes in the paddock. I'll just use that to smooth it. I think it's probably not a bad option. This will come around like so. That hasn't changed. Oh, swings so much better. Beautiful. And then if we want to open it the other way. Perfect, look at that. Shuts back against it, nice and tidy. That gate will either swing back against there like that, or it will swing back that way too against that post over there. He's coming back tomorrow and we've got another stretch that we're doing over the back there, so it's just one side of a drain there, so it shouldn't be too bad. Should get it blowing out tomorrow, hopefully. I also gave Mush a ring before and said to him, can I swap those 2 early variety bags for just the same as what I've got? And he said, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. He'll just make a few phone calls and should be sweet as. So yeah, don't second guess yourself, just go with your gut, and that's what my gut's telling me. However, that will pretty much wrap this video up, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thumbs up like always, and apart from that, see you next time.